7 years in love. My dad married Willow's biological mother. After that, Willow and I broke up. She was the one who brought it up. Before leaving, she threw out one last line. Every time I think about you becoming my brother, I feel disgusted. I was completely lost. Until my dad introduced me to a blind date, Anna. Anna had a slim wasp waist, curvy hips, and long legs. With a face that hit every point of my aesthetic preferences. More importantly, she was very young. And looked incredibly innocent. The next second, Anna leaned closer to me. With a shy expression, she said, "Gio, I heard you like naughty girls. I can. Can what? Can what? Exactly?" I was a little curious. That night, she actually took the initiative and asked me to go to a hotel with her. I looked at her in a maid outfit, kneeling down to serve me. And my palms were sweating from nervousness. Wasn't this moving a bit too fast? The very next second, Willow called me. She sounded like she'd had too much to drink. Her voice choking as she said, "George, I miss you so much." I hadn't even had the chance to speak before Anna mercilessly hung up the call. She curled her lips into a smile, tied up her long hair, and just as I thought she was about to show her real skills, she suddenly said, "Gio, would you like to buy insurance?" Chapter 1. What? Buy what? I looked a little dazed. Anna's pretty cheeks were slightly flushed, and her fingers were still massaging my legs. She said, "Gio, I've been serving you for so long. Wouldn't it be bad if you didn't buy some insurance?" I froze in place, my brain struggling to process this. All the faintly suggestive thoughts that had just surfaced vanished instantly. Anna looked aggrieved and put on a soft, coquettish voice. "Gio, say something." I asked stiffly. "You sell insurance?" Anna nodded. "Yeah, the boss said you like naughty ones. If I don't try harder, I'll get fired." I was speechless. I kept my face tight, not daring to admit that I'd mistaken her for my blind date. So I could only say, "Fine, give me one of every insurance you have." I bought every policy she offered. Anna beamed with joy and said, "Thank you, Gio. You're such a great person." I said coldly, "Next time, don't dress so slutty. If you sell insurance, at least look like an insurance agent, like some rookie model." Anna smiled sweetly. "Sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. My looks are from my parents. Don't mind it too much, Gio." I was choked by her words again, then raised my hand with difficulty. "Go on. Get out." Anna kept bowing, grabbed the coat she'd taken off, and hurried toward the door. Just before she closed it, "Wait," I called. Her eyes lit up. "What is it, Gio? Is there something you don't understand about the insurance?" I held a black card between my fingers and smiled. "How much is your monthly salary?" She said, 3 or 4,000 when there's no sales." "If there are sales, it's hard to say," I replied. "Why don't you quit? I'll support you." Anna was clearly stunned. Then her face reddened. That's not very appropriate. I'm not that kind of woman." I slapped the black card down in front of her. "Spend freely." Anna stared at the card. "But, when you put it that way, I guess it's not impossible." I couldn't help laughing. At least she was honest. She asked, Then what do I need to do?" Anna sounded nervous, stumbling over her words. I said, "Just go back for now." Anna clutched the black card and nodded repeatedly. Watching the door close, I rubbed my temples in frustration. If the first mistake, bringing Anna to the hotel, was an accident, then what was it that I'd just done by offering to keep her? My mouth had been faster than my brain. There aren't many women these days who fit my exact aesthetic. I'll just think of it as paying for a service. After sorting it out in my head, I quickly called my assistant and sent over Anna's business card. I said, "Investigate her. I want detailed information." Chapter 2. You really never know until you look into it. And once I did, it scared the hell out of me. Anna was only 18. A full 12 years younger than me. I instantly felt like I was committing a crime. My expression was hard to describe, and then I discovered she hadn't even graduated from high school yet. Suddenly, the idea of keeping her felt way too rash. The next second, Willow called again. I didn't answer. I hung up directly. A month ago, on our 7th anniversary, Willow and I broke up. She was the one who initiated it, because my dad married Willow's biological mother. She couldn't accept it. I told her this was between the elders. What did it have to do with us? Willow said, "Every time I think about you becoming my brother, I feel disgusted." That sentence completely shattered me. 7 years of feelings just broke apart like that. I was completely out of it. No appetite, no energy, drinking and chatting with my buddies every single day. After I mentioned Willow for the 100th time, my friends were speechless and helpless. They didn't understand. One of them said, "Why are you this miserable? There are so many women in the world, aren't there enough for you to choose from? If Willow broke up with you for that reason, it just means she's stupid. Wasting yourself and drinking over a woman like that, not worth it." That's when it hit me. I've got money, looks, and a successful career. What kind of woman couldn't I get? When I got home, I ran into my dad, the one I'd never gotten along with. Normally, we ignored each other completely. This time, though, he grabbed me and called out affectionately, "My good boy." It gave me goosebumps. I said coldly, "Please talk like a normal person." Dad let out a breath. "George, are you trying to piss me off on purpose?" I asked. "What do you want?" I didn't remember our relationship being close enough for greetings. My dad cleared his throat, looking awkward all over. "I didn't mean to ruin things between you and Willow." The way he said it made it sound like I couldn't tell right from wrong. Truth was, I never blamed my dad or Willow's mother for the breakup. Even if we hadn't broken up this time, there would have been another reason sooner or later. My dad said, "How about I introduce you to someone new? I've got a friend who happens to have a daughter, the kind of beauty that brings disaster. A real deadly femme fatale." Wait, are a beauty that brings disaster and deadly femme fatale really supposed to be used like that? He went on. "Don't you like beautiful women? I think that girl's pretty good." I was exhausted at the time and didn't bother arguing with him. Growing up, he'd never done a single reliable thing for me anyway. But the next day, after I woke up, I thought about it again. I decided to give it a try. Maybe it'd help me forget Willow. Call it detox. Instead, I mistook the wrong person and thought Anna was my blind date. I stood there regretting it for more than 10 minutes. Packed up and left the hotel. When I got home, I didn't expect to see Willow sitting at the dining table, eating. Her mother looked extremely awkward when she saw me. Flustered, she said, "Sorry, I didn't know you'd be back today." She hurried to get me a bowl and utensils. I waved my hand. I already ate outside. Then I went upstairs without looking back, as if Willow wasn't even there. Still, I found it a little strange. Hadn't Willow sounded drunk on the phone? Now she looked perfectly fine. I soon found out why. I scrolled through a mutual friend's WeChat feed. She'd posted several videos. Willow was playing Truth or Dare with a group of people. She drew Dare and was told to call her ex-boyfriend and say she missed him. Willow did exactly that. Luckily, my call got cut off. I didn't play along, so Willow had to take a punishment. The guys around her took the chance to force several drinks on her. The next round, she drew Dare again. This time, she was told to kiss any man present. With drunken, hazy eyes, she picked my close buddy from high school, Makoto, ignoring everyone around them. The two of them kissed recklessly. Chapter 3. I stared blankly at the screen. I thought I would be angry, furious, even, but unexpectedly, I felt nothing at all, just emptiness. My 7 years with Willow were truly over. The next second, there was a knock on my door. I thought it was the housekeeper. It was Willow. Her eyes drooped slightly, her expression tinged with melancholy. "George, dinner's ready." I frowned. "Didn't I already say I'm not eating?" Irritation flashed in Willow's eyes. "George, you've gone too far. My mom didn't do anything wrong to you. You shouldn't disrespect her effort like this. She made this meal." That really baffled me. What right did Willow have to say any of that? I eat if I want to eat. I don't if I don't. Even my own father can't control me. Who did Willow think she was? I waved my hand impatiently. "Get lost. Don't annoy me." I tried to close the door, but Willow stuck her hand out to block it. She snorted coldly. "George, you're jealous, aren't you? This is all your fault. Your dad just had to marry my mom." I laughed out of pure disbelief. "Willow, what the hell is wrong with your brain? You're blaming me. What does this have to do with me? You're acting like I'm the one who married your mom. I've noticed something. Why do you only dare to throw tantrums at me? Running some kind of compliance test? If you've got guts, go cause a scene with my dad." "What? You don't dare?" Willow's expression shifted slightly. I sneered and slammed the door shut. Her hand didn't get out in time and got caught. She cried out in pain. I shrugged. Serves her right. Then I turned around and called Anna. She picked up almost instantly. "Gio, what are you doing? I miss you so much." I sucked in a breath. This girl really knew how to talk. I replied. "Talking to you." Anna laughed softly. "Gio, can I come see you now?" I paused. We just parted not long ago, and now she wanted to meet again. And it was already so late. I'd underestimated Anna's determination. "Gio, please, let me come find you." I couldn't resist her soft pleading. I gave her an address, an apartment I used to live in. Anna immediately said, "Okay, Gio, I'm coming right now." I hurried out the door, only to realize Willow hadn't left. She was standing in the hallway, her face dark. I ignored her and lifted my foot to leave. She asked, "Where are you going?" Impatiently, I said, "None of your business." She sneered. "It's so late, are you going out to fool around with your bad influence friends again?" I was honestly speechless. How did Willow manage to say things like this with a straight face? I said, "No, and even if I were, what does it have to do with you?" I'm going to see my girlfriend. Willow's pupils shrank. Then she laughed. George, you're really saying something like that just to get my attention? My mindset was steady. After years of grinding it out in the business world, I'd seen all kinds of people. People way stranger and more dramatic than Willow were everywhere. Like bosses hosting dinners. And some troublemaking assistant arranging a whole table of burgers, fried chicken, and fries, then getting scolded and still bragging. I'm just a tiny legend, so there was really nothing to get angry about, I said. Believe it or not, you shouldn't be meddling in my private life. Willow's face turned awful. She opened her mouth, but not a single word came out. Just as I reached downstairs, I saw Makoto walking in. George, what are you doing here? He asked. I looked at him, confused. This is my house. I should be the one asking why you are here. Makoto instinctively glanced past me. Willow was standing at the stairway. Makoto, you're here. Makoto gave me a smug smile, walked over, wrapped an arm around Willow, and kissed her. Willow hooked her arm through his, turned back to me. Her voice cold as she stared me down. This is my boyfriend. He came to see me. Chapter 4. I nodded, stopped paying attention to her, and pushed the door open to leave. I missed the brief crack in Willow's composure. Who Willow chose to be with had nothing to do with me anymore, as long as it didn't disgust me. When I arrived at the apartment, Anna was sitting obediently by the door, waiting for me. The sight made my heart itch a little. Hearing movement, Anna looked up at me, the light in her eyes visibly brightening. Gio, why did you take so long? I knocked earlier but you weren't here. I curled my lips into a smile. I had something to take care of and stepped out. Anna refused to let it go and dove straight into my arms. I missed you so much. She hugged me tightly, which made me both amused and helpless. We just met. How much could she really miss me? Her cheeks flushed as she said softly, Gio, let's go inside. I took out the keys and handed one to her. You can live here from now on. This was the apartment I'd lived in during college. The facilities were complete, more than enough for one person. She replied obediently. Okay, I'll listen to everything you say, Gio. Listening to how clingy she sounded, I couldn't help thinking, if she'd put even a fraction of this effort into her job, she probably wouldn't have been on the verge of getting fired. The night passed quickly. Later, I got up to take a shower. Not long after I went in, Anna suddenly called out, Gio, your phone is ringing. At this hour, I had no idea who would be calling. Hang up, I said. She answered loudly, okay. When I came out of the bathroom, Anna was apologizing frantically. I'm sorry. I think I caused you trouble. I raised an eyebrow. What kind of trouble? She hesitated, then said, I accidentally answered the call. It was a woman. She asked who I was, and I said I was someone you were supporting. And then she started yelling at me. The more Anna spoke, the more upset she became. Tears fell one after another, and she looked utterly wronged. I didn't even need to think to know who it was. Willow. I quickly pulled Anna into my arms and comforted her. All right, don't worry about her. I'll handle it. I lowered my head and blocked and deleted all of Willow's contact information. I missed the satisfied smile that briefly curled at the corner of Anna's lips. After that, Anna held onto me and murmured, Gio, I'm so sleepy. Let's sleep. I nodded. I was exhausted myself. Anna clung to me, sticky and affectionate, making me want to laugh. Just as I was drifting into sleep, a stone suddenly smashed into the glass of the balcony. I was jolted awake instantly. Right after that came Willow's hysterical shouting, George, you bastard. Get down here right now. Chapter 5. I frowned slightly. Anna clung tightly to me and asked, Gio, who is that? Should we call the police? I got up to check, but Anna looked extremely nervous. She said, Gio, don't go. What if something dangerous happens? I held her shoulders, then let go. It's fine. I'll call property management. Downstairs, Willow was still yelling nonstop. Someone she'd woken up turned on the lights and cursed angrily. Crazy bitch, what are you screaming for? Are people supposed to sleep or not? Willow shouted back. Get lost. My boyfriend is sleeping with another woman. I closed my eyes. Willow was being completely unreasonable. She was really pushing me to the edge. Anna was still uneasy and said she wanted to take a look. She turned on the light, carefully walked to the balcony, and looked downstairs. What I didn't know was that, at that moment, she flashed a provocative smile at Willow below. The call with property management went through. They quickly assured me they would remove Willow as soon as possible. Willow kept screaming, You slut, believe it or not, I'll kill you. Anna put on a terrified expression. Gio, I'm so scared. As she spoke, she buried herself straight into my arms. My brows were tense, and there wasn't a trace of sleepiness in my eyes. Willow was finally driven away by property management. Anna, still in my arms, looked utterly wronged. Her voice trembled as she asked, Gio, who was that? She was so scary, I said coldly. No one, just a cheap bitch. I realized I'd been far too easygoing. That was why Willow dared to be so unrestrained. I patted Anna's face. Go to sleep first. We'll talk tomorrow. When I woke up, I went to the balcony. The shattered glass had already been cleaned up by Anna. Gio, come eat breakfast. She had thoughtfully prepared everything already. After eating, I said softly, I need to go home and take care of something. Anna behaved well and didn't cling to me. She said, okay, I'll wait here for you to come back. Gio. Before leaving, I kissed her. As soon as I got home, I saw my dad and Willow's mother drinking tea together. When they saw me, their expressions changed. As if I were some kind of stranger, I ignored them and went straight to Willow's bedroom. Picked up a hammer and started smashing. The housekeeper rushed over in panic. President Wong, what's going on? I handed him the hammer and said, smash it, destroy everything, don't leave a single thing intact. The housekeeper was confused, but could only comply. Hearing the noise, my dad and Willow's mother hurried upstairs. Seeing the scene inside, my dad's face darkened. George, what are you doing? This is Willow's room. Willow's mother had tears in her eyes as she asked, did Willow do something to upset you? Auntie apologizes to you. The moment my dad heard that, his anger exploded. He raised his hand to hit me, but I grabbed his wrist hard. Through clenched teeth, I said, Dad, have I been too easygoing? Your stepdaughter ran downstairs to my place in the middle of the night and smashed my balcony glass with a rock. What's wrong with me smashing her room? Willow's mother hurriedly said, that's impossible. Willow is such a good girl. How could she possibly do something like this? She's always been so good. I snapped. Good girl my ass. She's fucking 30 already. What girl are you even talking about? Chapter 6. My dad's face darkened. Is that how you talk to your elders? Did you shove all your manners into a dog's stomach? I replied in a chilling tone. Diego Wong, don't force me to go all the way. Believe it or not, I can make you lose both wife and family. My dad was breathing heavily, his hand shaking as he pointed at me. Unfilial son. I shot back. Unfilial father. My dad was left speechless. Willow's mother burst into tears, and my dad panicked. Rushing to comfort her, I looked on with mockery, disgust churning in my gut. When my mom was still alive, he'd never treated her like this. I pinched the bridge of my nose and said impatiently, Dad, I'm serious. Keep the woman you sleep beside and your stepdaughter far away from me. Otherwise, this won't end with just one room being destroyed, Diego said. How did I end up with a son like you? You're a grown man. How can you be this petty? Still holding a grudge over Willow breaking up with you? I stared up at the ceiling, utterly speechless. What kind of impression had I given him all these years? I said, that's unnecessary. She's almost 30. I like them young. The moment the words fell, Willow rushed over and instantly took in the devastation inside the room. Not a single thing was intact. She screamed. George, what did you do? My makeup, my necklaces, my limited edition bags. My dad hurried to apologize. Willow, I'm sorry. I failed as a parent. I'll make George compensate you. The very next second, I raised my hand and slapped Willow hard across the face. Bitch, if you don't want your hands, I can chop them off. Willow clutched her cheek, staring at me in disbelief. You actually hit me? I laughed. I hit you because you deserved it, for smashing my window in the middle of the night. Willow's face flushed red. George, I haven't even asked yet, who was the woman who answered my call last night? I shrugged. My girlfriend. What about it? Willow's breathing quickened. That's impossible. You can't be with another woman. I laughed out of sheer anger. Are you serious, idiot? You don't still think you're some prized treasure, do you? I'll say it again, I'll be with whoever I want. Ignoring my dad and her mother, Willow slammed the door and yelled at me. George, that's impossible. How could you be with another woman? Seeing she still didn't believe it, I said disdainfully. Believe it or not. Oh, and from now on, you're not allowed to live here. You and your mother eat my food, spend my money, live in my house, and still have the nerve to scream at me. Just looking at you makes me sick. Talking about how becoming her brother disgusted her. The disgusting one was clearly herself. Willow's breathing became erratic, her emotions visibly unstable. George, do you even know what you're saying? I looked at her sharply. Get out. Can't you hear me? Get out of my house right now, bitch. Once I'm provoked, there's nothing I won't say. I called the bodyguards. Drag Willow out. I don't want to see her. Willow was furious and shouted. George, playing hard to get has its limits. Get out, I said again. The servants and bodyguards all followed my orders. I could replace them anytime I wanted. Willow was dragged away. Her mother cried uncontrollably. My dad cursed me out nonstop. When he called me an unfilial son for the third time, I finally snapped. Impatiently, I said, you've got two choices right now, leave, or I'll let you experience what it's like to lose both wife and family. I knew exactly what he cared about, nothing but his pride. Even now, he refused to admit that the real authority in this house had already fallen into my hands. His face stiffened. He took Willow's mother and left, no longer daring to provoke me. That incident finally made me cautious. I returned to the company and began tightening my grip on power. Step by step, family ties, love, none of it mattered. Only capital was a solid foundation for survival. Chapter 7. After that, I worked during the day and went back to the apartment at night. Life was smooth sailing. No wonder those boss friends of mine all liked keeping a kept woman. They really were incredibly considerate. How did I never realize the cost performance was this high? On the weekend, I held Anna while handling work. She sat on my lap and twisted her waist playfully. Gio, I want to find a job. I raised an eyebrow. What kind of job? Aren't you happy staying at home? Anna's tone fell. It's not that. I just feel like I don't deserve you. I'm way too different from Willow. I froze for a moment and looked at her. What happened? Did you run into her? Logically speaking, Willow and Anna shouldn't have had any chance to cross paths. Anna nodded lightly. But it's okay. I'll only listen to you. Gio, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. My tone turned serious. What did she say to you? Anna avoided my gaze. It wasn't much. She just said I'm some delinquent girl, that I don't deserve you, and told me to stay far away. Then she asked carefully, Gio, am I really that bad? Sigh. I knew she was getting insecure again. I pinched her cheek. Don't listen to her nonsense. You're much better than her. But that didn't comfort her at all. Anna's lashes grew wet as she said, Gio, I'll work hard. I scratched my head. Hey, that's really not necessary. I kept Anna because I liked her as a person. I'd never cared about her education or background. Besides, money was the one thing I had plenty of. But I seriously underestimated her determination. She actually took the initiative to sign up for the National College Entrance Exam. I was completely stunned. Her being a high school student again made my sense of guilt skyrocket. I said, why don't I just send you abroad to study? You don't need to take the exam, she replied. No, I want to work hard. I was about to lose my mind. Really, you don't have to. Anna puffed out her cheeks and stared straight at me. I saw a trace of stubbornness in her eyes. That meant there was no negotiating. Helpless, I said. All right, if you want to take it, then take it. I arranged a school and private tutors for Anna, which turned into me driving her home from school every night. Absolute heart attack material, because Willow had privately gone to cause trouble for Anna. I had someone trip her up behind the scenes. She'd been having a rough time at work lately. On Monday, Makoto suddenly showed up at my office. He demanded, why did you reject my resume? Only then did I remember that happening. I said, your ability isn't good enough. This isn't a marketplace, and this isn't a place where you should be making a scene. Other than Willow slipping him in, I couldn't think of any explanation. I smiled and reminded him. And also, barging into my company like this will get Willow into serious trouble. Did he really think I was some pathetic simp? I'm a ruthless capitalist, cold-blooded and selfish. Makoto laughed, his tone arrogant. George, I know you're upset and jealous of me, but there's nothing you can do. Willow loves me, not you. What's the point of all your money? You still lost to me. Sigh. The most tragic thing for a man is having money but losing the woman he loves. I was speechless. Completely. I genuinely couldn't understand Makoto's way of thinking. He went on. Ever since high school, I've hated that superior look of yours. Why do you get everything so easily? I replied flatly. Because I was born with it. Don't be so possessive over things that belong to others. Okay, thanks. Makoto's expression twisted. Stop pretending. You're just jealous of me. That's why you deliberately blocked me from getting a job. I said expressionlessly. Makoto, not qualified means not qualified. Your ability is the problem. I treat everyone the same. All right, I'm here to make money, not to run a charity. Why wouldn't I spend money hiring someone competent? Jealous of you, my ass. I called my secretary. Come here. Someone broke into my office. Also, check who let him in and fire them immediately. If someone dangerous got in, how would anyone's safety be guaranteed? Makoto's face twisted as he shouted. I'm Willow's boyfriend. If you do this, what will she think of you? I replied calmly. Even if you were her biological father, it wouldn't matter. Chapter 8. Makoto was dragged away. I stared up at the ceiling, speechless. That couple really loved trespassing. Truly a match made in heaven. Breaking up with Willow was absolutely the right call. Thinking back to how I'd once been confused and miserable over her, I felt nothing but second-hand embarrassment. So bad my back broke out in a cold sweat. That evening, just as I was about to go pick Anna up from school, my dad called. He told me to come home for dinner. I agreed and had Anna take a cab back on her own. I never had much of a temper toward my dad anyway, It was easy enough to sit calmly at the table and eat with him. What I didn't expect was that Willow would be there too. My dad was unusually warm toward me this time. That was, until he said, "Your aunt is pregnant." I glanced at Willow's mother. She looked delighted. Expressionless, I said. "Abort it. I only allow one existence in my family, me." My dad froze, as if he'd misheard. "Abort it," I repeated. His face turned ashen, but he swallowed it down and said, "George, that's your own younger brother." I laughed. "We don't even know if it's a boy or a girl yet. And since it hasn't been born, under our country's legal system, it doesn't count as a person." A chill ran through my dad's body. He realized I was capable of anything. Willow's mother panicked and looked pleadingly at Willow. Willow said coldly, "Makoto and I have already broken up. Do you really think this is interesting?" I leaned back in my chair and replied calmly, "Willow, if you don't have a mirror, use some piss to take a good look at yourself. What do you think you are, acting wild in front of me?" A flicker of panic crossed Willow's face. She accused me. "George, why are you always like this?" I just couldn't accept our situation at first. I shrugged helplessly, not interested in arguing with her, as far as I was concerned. Once we broke up, everything between us was over, especially since she was the one who ended it. The important thing now was the baby. I said, "Dad, you know me. I don't like having siblings. The moment I imagine someone trying to fight me over inheritance, I get the urge to cripple them." I tapped my fingers on the table and sneered at him. "So, do you want to abort it now? Or give birth to it and let me make sure it spends its whole life bedridden? You taught me this yourself. Every man for himself, or heaven strikes him down." My dad's face was tightly drawn. He couldn't accept that I'd turned out like this. "George, this child is part of the family," he said. I replied coldly, "Dad, you never had this kind of expectation for me. When I was 3, I had a severe fever that wouldn't go down. To scam insurance money, you locked me and my mom in a room. You nearly killed us." My dad shot to his feet, panic written all over his face. "That's impossible." I smiled. "You think a 3-year-old shouldn't remember things, right?" I lowered my head and continued eating, my tone light. "I remember it perfectly. As for why I haven't turned on you yet, it's only because you're still useful." My dad was left speechless. Chapter 9. Willow's mother was utterly flustered. "This is my child. You have no right to decide his life." I looked up at her. "There's another option, divorce my dad." A flicker of hesitation crossed her eyes. I smiled and asked, "Can't bear to give up the wealth and comfort." Willow couldn't stand it anymore. "That's enough. George, how can you be like this? Doesn't your conscience hurt at all?" Willow again. I closed my eyes, stood up, grabbed the chair, and flung it hard. Word by word, I said, "Willow, this has nothing to do with you. I've tolerated you for a long time. Didn't I tell you never to appear in my house again?" Willow was stunned by the impact. She looked at me helplessly, as if seeing me for the first time. I brushed off my sleeve and said calmly, "The food was good, but I'm not in the mood anymore. Dad, I suggest you don't force me to do things myself." My dad let out a deep breath and said nothing. I knew it. He hated me to the core. Deep down, I was far too much like him, but he hated my mother and that political marriage. And naturally, he despised me as well, the product of that arranged union. But there was no helping it. I was still his son. When I got back to the apartment and opened the door, I heard voices. Not Anna's alone. A woman said, "Anna, have you lost your mind? Have I spoiled you too much, letting you behave so recklessly?" Hearing a stranger's voice, I stopped. I wanted to listen. Anna said, "I like George. I love him. As long as I can stay by his side, I'm willing to do anything." The next second, the woman slapped her. She shouted angrily, "Anna, you're being his kept woman. He's just playing with you. When you get old, when your looks fade, he'll abandon you." Anna was breathing fast. "As long as I can be with him right now, that's enough. What exactly do you want from me? I'm telling you, I won't break up with him. I like him. I've liked him since I was little." The woman was furious to the point of physical pain. How could she have given birth to a daughter like this? The two of them moved from the balcony into the living room. Seeing I couldn't keep hiding, I stepped out. The woman looked awkward when she saw me. When I recognized her, I was surprised. "Ms. Sue, President Sue, what brings you here?" I hadn't expected the person arguing with Anna to be an old acquaintance, a former business partner. Anna's mother pulled Anna over and said helplessly, "This is my daughter. I'm taking her home today. She's caused you trouble during this time." I frowned slightly. Only then did I realize Anna's family background wasn't poor at all. The investigation report back then had been far from complete. Anna said softly, "Mom, I'm not leaving. I want to stay with Gio." Her mother was furious. "President Wang already has a fiancé. You're being a mistress." Anna's eyes reddened. On the verge of tears, I spoke quietly. "President Sue, I've already broken up." Then I straightened my expression. Let's talk. Anna was sent out. Only her mother and I remained in the room. I poured her a cup of tea and went straight to the point. I'll treat your daughter well. You have my word. Chapter 10. Anna's mother looked completely stunned. I said, President Sue, I've been with your daughter these past few days. I do like her. We can develop into a proper romantic relationship. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. Since she likes me, why can't I respond? Besides, Anna doesn't have any obvious flaws, at least none that I've discovered so far. Anna's mother frowned. I know my daughter well. She's stubborn and single-minded. Once she's set on someone, she won't let go. If you get together with her, you won't be able to shake her off. I laughed. Isn't dating always with marriage in mind? You don't need to worry about my ex. She crossed a line. I won't get back together with her. I paused, then asked. I heard Anna liked me from a very young age. How young are we talking? From Anna's mother, I learned many things about Anna. It turned out she'd seen me back when she was in elementary school. Her mother looked a little embarrassed but also amused. And then she said she fell in love with you. Recently, when your father was arranging blind dates for you, Anna took the initiative to approach you. No wonder Anna had mistaken a client for her blind date. I sighed inwardly and said, these are all minor issues. From now on, I'll seriously date her. President Sue finally relaxed and went on to complain about Anna's bad habits. She'd been especially willful as a child, never listening to anyone. Going back to school now was actually a good thing for her. After I saw Anna's mother off, Anna kept looking at me uneasily. She asked pitifully, Gio, you're not going to abandon me, are you? I said helplessly, no, I won't abandon you. Only then did Anna relax. She happily went to put on a maid outfit for me to see, praising sinful beauty. I spent the entire night immersed in pleasure. Young girls really do have more tricks. The next day, I was woken up by my dad's call. He said, George, the child's been taken care of, I replied. Oh, and was about to hang up. His voice turned urgent. The child isn't mine. I raised an eyebrow. Any trace of sleepiness vanished. What do you mean? I asked. He said, I was played by that woman. She was already involved with someone else. I was silent for a few seconds. So what are you planning to do? He replied. Of course I'm divorcing her and kicking her out with nothing. Planning a divorce and making her terminate the pregnancy. He was even more ruthless than me. Anyone who made him lose face would be remembered. Of course, he couldn't retaliate against me. I said. All right, I get it. Just treat it like she never existed. After my dad hung up, Willow called again, this time from an unfamiliar number. She said, George. I regret it. Let's get back together. I was speechless. She really took me for an idiot. I said, Willow, you only want to reconcile now because your mom and my dad are getting divorced, right? Her tone was anxious. Yes, that way we're no longer siblings. I laughed again. Isn't it because you can't take advantage of my family anymore? You thought marrying my dad would let your mom get the Wong family's assets, earning money without lifting a finger. Now that hope's gone, you want to grab onto me instead. There's no such good deal in this world. Willow's voice weakened. George, why do you think of me like that? I'm not. Before she could finish, I hung up. So annoying. Whether she had ulterior motives or not, I treated everything as a conspiracy. That was experience. Being cautious wasn't a bad thing. I got out of bed slowly. Anna had already made breakfast and was ready to head to school. Before leaving, she kissed me. Gio, come pick me up tonight. I couldn't help smiling. All right. This kind of life actually felt pretty good. No schemes, no suspicion, just one sincere heart.